Welcome to the No Name Podcast.
Which is not true. It's eventually going to have a name. We just don't know it yet.
Yeah. If you don't know us, my name is Dana.
Yep, and I'm Wesley.
Yep. We are best friends who met working in Walt Disney World, who have similar interests in Harry Potter, anime, and Disney.
Shameless plug. Disney is awesome. You should go support them. They're great.
Anyway, let's just dive into our first topic that we're going to do, which is... Why don't you tell everyone?
All right. Today, starting as our pilot episode, you are very privileged to be in on our inaugural episode, we are going to be discussing where we believe certain characters from the very great anime Fairy Tail would be placed if they were sorted into Hogwarts houses, as in the Harry Potter series. So,
because everyone knows the Hogwarts houses, or at least they know the generic traits, so I feel like this could be a lot of fun.
It's true, and I admit when I was first watching the show, I had a few characters that I would unconsciously place.
Oh yeah. Because some of them are easy, but some of them are kind of hard.
Yeah, because some of them have so many different backstory facets that change them up. I was like, because I mean, a character, for example, like a character like Mirajane. I mean, when she was younger, she absolutely could have been a Slytherin, but now,
totally.
but
now,
being what she is, the way she is, she's absolutely more like possibly a Hufflepuff or maybe even a Gryffindor.
Possibly. But you know what? I feel like she always was a Hufflepuff, but she just had that fieriness and that recklessness that Slytherins often get treated with. But she's always been a fiercely loyal and caring person.
Yeah.
For the most part.
That is true, and
also I would love to have Mirajane in my house.
That would I admit she was like one of the most unsung heroes of all of Fairy Tail, because that moment when she dropped the cute act was so darn awesome.
Oh my god, every moment except when she dropped the cute act and just went full like demon was awesome.
Not that I don't love Mary Jane and her cuteness, I love it. But still.
Yeah. Alright, well we got Mirajane out of the way. Let's go to the main five.
Alright.
The five core characters.
Alright. Well, let's start with the most recognizable. That would be Natsu Dragneil, who...
Natsu Dragneil.
He is... I'll just say that is an amazing last name. I always thought it was so cool.
It's really an awesome last name.
I think he's a pretty obvious one. He would go in Gryffindor. Yeah.
Oh, easily. There. It would be like Draco Malfoy moment where it's like the Sorting Hat doesn't even touch his head when it says Gryffindor.
Yeah. That would make sense because he pretty much overcomes everything and just becomes more powerful.
He tends to get into a lot of trouble, and he never gets in trouble for those situations, which reminds us of a very recognizable trio.
I always love the fact that Professor McGonagall had that one line in the one movie. Why is it when something happens, it is always you three? And I was like, that is the most meta line I've ever heard.
But you know what? Ron's line after that is equally as amazing.
Yeah,
trust me, Professor. I've been asking myself the same thing for 5 years.
That is very true. Both of the I just love the fact that J.K. Rowling, who was part of the movie, could write something in there to be like, yes, I know how it is, and I'm going to.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we got Natsu out of the way. Let's talk about his rival Gray. Where he belongs. Because that's tough.
It is harder because he's got the same drive and determination that Natsu does have, but they're not exactly identical, because if they were, then they would not jointly create so much trouble like they always do.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one, I think the most reasonable would be Gryffindor, only because otherwise I would say Slytherin, because he's certainly not a Ravenclaw or a Hufflepuff.
Yeah.
But he is by no means as mean-spirited as the typical Slytherin could be.
Well, yeah. Well, let's diminish that stereotype. Slytherins are not mean-spirited.
It is true. They are not. Speaking as one of them, I can say that we are not all.
Yeah, Slytherins are just very cunning. They're very quick-witted in like a sense that they put themselves before others.
Which
Which can be good and bad. It depends, and we can talk about that later with certain characters.
I mean, actually, now that I think of it, there are certain moments where Gray could certainly be, because the moment where he was willing to turn the ice shell in order to save everyone else. I mean,
oh yeah.
If that's not self-sacrifice, I mean,
yeah.
Although that is,
I feel like that's a Gryffindor thing to do, though.
More Gryffindor, yes, but then
that is a more Gryffindor.
But then again, he does have his sneak moments, like the Erastion Space arc. They were going up against Eraser, and they managed to figure out his spell, and he took the shot with the huge arrow made of ice. That was
yeah that's true.
But,
so he's had some Slytherin moments, but I think overall he's a definite Gryffindor.
If I had to put him in one, yes, I would say yes too, because that might be also one reason why he and Natsu clash so much, because they are similar enough, but they're also different.
Yeah, because he has enough of the Slytherin traits where they have that headbutt. They have those headbutting moments like Harry and Draco usually have, but they can also get along really well and work really well together.
All right. Let's going by ages here. Let's move on. Let's say, what do you think of Miss Lucy Heartfilia? Because
I think that's easy. I think she's a total Ravenclaw.
Yes, I would have to say she and Levy would both be.
I was gonna say her and Levy would just be in Ravenclaw together and just enjoy it.
Yeah, because she's. Yeah, she has a really balanced fighting style. Really great relationship with her spirits.
She's not cunning enough, and she's not quick-witted. I'm trying to think of the other terms, but she's not ambitious enough or cunning enough to be in Slytherin. She's not as heated and as passionate as Gryffindors usually are. And as loyal as she is, she doesn't have that loyalty and that humbleness that Hufflepuffs like me have.
Yeah.
So she definitely fits in Ravenclaw.
And the fact that exemplifying the Ravenclaw aspect is also what is that? What is that one arc where her father leaves her the key, and it's the whole
that whole clock arc.
End of the world clock. That was very Hufflepuff, because she, or not Hufflepuff. What I'm sorry, Ravenclaw. She and I don't really understand when a lot of people are like, oh, Lucy doesn't do anything, she has to constantly be saved. I'm like, I'm sorry, have you watched far enough into this show? Because
I know, right? She could be badass.
She's got some epic moments, plus the fact that she names an entire attack after her name, and just it's a Lucy kick. Yes.
Alright, and speaking of girl power, let's talk about the epic Erza Scarlet.
Oof. Possibly the most epic female wizard in fairy tale.
Totally. I haven't even finished the anime, and I can't wait to see the end.
Oh yeah. I don't know if she wins for most epic female protagonist ever in all anime, but certainly
in fairy tale.
Yeah, because even if, fun fact about her voice actress, actually, she also voices Riza Hawkeye for you Full Metal Alchemist watchers out there. The same actress. Very well done.
So what about Miss Scarlet? I have a very definite place for her, but I want to see what you say first.
Ooh, that is hard. That is a little difficult, because I would place her. My first instinct is to place her in Gryffindor alongside Natsu.
Ooh, really?
Yes, I would say that, except that she has, she is so unpredictable about what she will do, because one moment she's going to bash your head in, and the other moment, and the other
moment she's having a picnic.
Or the thing that comes to my brain is that moment where she thinks that she's slighted Natsu and Gray, so she goes, now you must hit me for my penance, and they're just sitting there like, what the heck just happened? No.
I think I would put her in Slytherin. Because she's fiercely loyal, but only But when it comes to certain circumstances, like when Natsu and Gray F up, she's not being loyal to them. She's ratting them out.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
but
yeah.
when it comes to them being threatened and her friends being threatened and her allies, that's when her loyalty comes out. And it's very fierce and it's very powerful. And that's a very Slytherin trait.
That's true. And she's got, I mean, I'm all for Natsu, but I mean, I don't know who wins as far as, like, winning against odds, because considering what sorts of absolute hell that she has had to go through.
Oh yeah, she has a very hard backstory.
Honestly, yeah, I think rethinking it, I think she would fit more into a Slytherin area, because she's also the one that seems to have when Makarov isn't around, she's always the one that has the plan, usually.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally.
Okay, so...
Right. Now, let's talk about your favorite character, which is Miss Wendy.
Oh, I love Wendy Marvell. She is...
You love Wendy Marvell.
She is cool.
And I think little Miss Wendy would be placed right with me in dear old Hufflepuff.
Yeah, she is. She would be. She absolutely would. Because, but no, see, here's the reason why. Because she is a powerhouse. She is on par with Natsu. And yet, since she is so much younger than all of them, she immediately, her first reaction to everything is, what can I do to help you? And if she ever thinks she's done anything wrong at all, her first reaction is, please forgive me, how can I fix it?
You're describing me right now.
Well, I mean, plus she had one of the most epic entrances in all of fairy tale.
That is true. Running up and then flat on her face.
Yes, which they showed from 3 different angles just to make sure you understood it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, she has her moments of, I'm scared, but I mean, if you watch far enough into the series, you will know that when it comes down to it and she's at a corner, she will fight, and it is glorious to watch.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
Like, all right. We've got a fair amount of the main group here. Let's move up the hierarchy a little bit. What about the master of the guild himself, Makarov?
Makarov, the third master.
My first inclination is Gryffindor, but he shows some aspects that could place him somewhere else.
I know, my first instinct is Gryffindor, because he does have that, like, Dumbledore vibe to him. But he's a lot more reckless.
Oh yeah.
And he's a lot more, like, heated when he wants to be.
Yeah, because
I feel like he'd be a Slytherin.
I could see him as a Slytherin, because I don't think a Gryffindor would, like, when receiving paperwork that must be filled out, I don't think he would be like, hey, let's burn it, because I don't care.
No, Gryffindor would totally do that.
Well, actually, now that I'm thinking of it, yes, you're right.
No, but I think he's a Slytherin in the same reasoning that Erza is a Slytherin, because when it comes to his allies and his friends messing up themselves, he's not one. He will quickly just, like, flatten you out and be like, no. The first thing we see him do is smash Natsu with his foot. Yeah,
because and plus, I mean, he is the master of this guild, which to have the level of patience and everything else that you would have to have, because it's a long list, in order to properly oversee this particular group of wizards.
That's true. But when it comes to his own guild and allies, again, like Erza, he has that fierce loyalty. But he knows when to hold back the loyalty, because he knows when he's in the wrong.
Yeah.
But he also knows how to go about things in a very cunning and sly way.
Very true.
So I think he'd definitely be Slytherin.
So we have talked about several of the dragon slayers in the Fairy Tale Guild, but there is one we have not mentioned, which is the Iron Dragon Slayer Gajeel.
Yeah.
You got to put in the shooby dooba. Yeah, right there, right.
Oh yeah, with the tuxedo and the guitar.
Of course, because in his off day when he's not killing monsters, he wishes to be a rock and roll musician. Yeah.
He's tough to place. I don't know where I would place him.
It is hard. It's true. Although, if nothing else, he wins best hair.
That is true.
Very, very true. But
I'm sure Levy would agree.
See, Levy is sort of biased for reasons. He's an interesting one though, because when you first meet him, being a reformed character as he is, he would certainly be I would call him a Slytherin for sure. But but as his character arc goes on, and then he eventually becomes a fairy tale wizard, I'm hesitant to call him Gryffindor just because he displays some traits that are certainly not Gryffindor-like.
Yeah.
But I mean, when it comes down to it, just like Erza or Natsu, he'll give it everything he's got in order to accomplish what he deems to be right, which, I mean, Ration says, anybody? Oh.
Yeah. I think he's definitely a Slytherin, because in the same boat as Erza and Makarov, when his friends and allies are in the wrong, he doesn't hesitate to put them down for it or mock them for it.
That is true. Yeah.
But he will give everything he's got to protect Fairy Tale and his friends. But he does it in a way that's his own. Like, he doesn't follow everyone else. He kind of keeps to himself and just does his own thing.
Yeah, and considering the
which,
well, I was just thinking of I was just imagining this crazy scenario of the whole Levy and Gajeel thing, because if he were, because no Gryffindor would ever act the way he does when it is so darn obvious that he's terribly into her.
Of course.
But I'm just imagining. Oh my.
Yeah, because Gryffindors are painfully obvious when it comes to that stuff.
Of course.
And Slytherins are very cool, laid back, I'm not showing any emotions kind of deal, and that's exactly how Gajeel is.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I admit, when I first met him, I wanted someone to beat his face in, which thankfully happened.
That person being Natsu.
Yes, and that was one of the most satisfying moments within the first few arcs. But
I think Natsu and Gajeel definitely have that Slytherin-Gryffindor compatibility.
Yeah.
Where they can get along, but they are very much at odds, and they argue so much, even more so than Natsu and Gray sometimes, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because Natsu and Gray will argue while fighting with each other.
Yeah.
Gajeel and Natsu will argue and fight each other, ignoring whoever they're fighting against.
Yes, and so much so that their opponent is standing there like, we're in the middle of a fight, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. He's certainly an interesting one. But if we're going for important, plot relevant characters. Now, this certain character I'm thinking of right now. Let's see if you can. I'm gonna play a little game here. Let's see if you can guess who it is I'm thinking of. He is a character that, when you are first introduced to him, you are wondering, what purpose exactly does he serve within this show? Because I haven't seen him do anything.
Okay.
But there comes a point within the show which many consider to be a filler arc. It is a short-term arc, and it makes you appreciate this character so much because you hear his backstory and you realize how truly amazing he is.
Okay. Ooh, I don't know.
Well,
okay. I have a question.
Yes.
Is this character a member of Fairy Tale?
Yes, he is. He is.
Okay, is it, shit, I forgot his name. Shit. Are you? Wait. Oh, I know what you're thinking. Are you thinking of Laxus?
That is not who I was thinking of. No.
Damn it. Ooh, that's tough. A filler arc, and they're a member.
Well,
of
some people would consider it a filler arc. I personally thought it was very important to the story, even though it was a shorter arc.
Is it a character we see a lot?
He is more of a background, but he in the Phantom Lord arc he makes more of an appearance, and he has very close ties to a certain member of the main group.
Close ties to the main group.
Mm-hmm. Of course, that does not happen until a fair way into his arc and after this particular revelation is known about him.
I'm really a member of Fairy Tail. I'm trying to think of the main group and who's in the main group that has close ties.
Well, I mean, he is not a member of the main group, but he has a close ties to this person I'm thinking of who is in the main group.
Happy?
No, that is not who it is. I am all right with giving it to you if you cannot think it up right now. I need it.
I don't know who you're talking about.
All right, okay, I will give it to you. I was thinking of the member of Fairy Tail who wins as best dressed at all times. The celestial spirit known as Leo, otherwise called Loki.
Yes, I forgot how much you love Leo. Oh, yeah, I forgot he's a member of Fairy Tail.
Of course he is, yes.
Oh, shoot, you're right. I totally forgot about Leo.
Yeah, he...
And that's actually really mean of me, considering that we're thinking about going to a convention dressed as Lucy and Leo.
Which, hey, I've got the tux, I'll make it work.
Yeah.
But he was, like, I remember when I first watched it, I was just sitting here going, he's the comic relief, but that's pretty much all I see. What is his purpose? And then his arc happened, and I grew to love him so much more because...
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And the fact that he can just casually wear a tux and look awesome.
That is true. I think he would honestly be a Gryffindor.
Absolutely.
He's totally a Gryffindor.
Absolutely. Yes, I would say a Gryffindor for sure, but... But see, are we classifying him as one or two characters? Because his Loki persona is...
I would say one, because he has a similar personality when he's Loki or when he's Leo.
Yeah.
His personality doesn't change.
True. That is true. Yes. I mean, okay, you could call it you could call him a Gryffindor. It's true. I thought maybe he might slip into another house, but you're right.
Yeah.
Considering not only his main arc, but then during the Celestial Spirit arc, I mean, he was evil for a while, but the amount of drive he had to do what he thought was, well, he thought it was a good idea, even though it would have been a horrible idea. But
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we got a fair amount of Fairy Tail members covered.
Yeah. This there of course there are more, but you know, we were trying to run this at a certain time frame, and
yeah, we tried to hit about 30 minutes,
which we are approaching according to my clock.
Yeah, same.
You'll probably be hearing this on a medium like Facebook or another platform, and we will both be eager to hear your initial thoughts. What do you think of a name? Or,
because this is a test podcast. We're just trying it out, seeing what people think. We would definitely love you guys to submit suggestions for topics you would want to hear us talk about, and suggestions, especially for names. We are clueless on names. We have no idea what to call ourselves.
Well, I've ran through a couple ideas, but it's gotta sound right. It's true, and I will say right now, for those of you submitting ideas, we are both uber nerds. So
yes, we are. We both have an affinity for Harry Potter and Disney and anime. So any name suggestions or topic suggestions surrounding that, we would love. We also both love Marvel comics. So, and Percy Jackson.
Several different
Several
ones.
different topics we can cover.
But when you reach the end of this, just if it's on Facebook or whatever other platform, just drop a comment, tell us what you think, and we will of course read them, because this idea was conspired between the two of us, and I personally think it could be something really cool.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope you guys had a great time listening, and we will see you next time. Hopefully,
hopefully with a name.
We hopefully with a name, and hopefully under some sort of schedule. We do not have anything related to that at the moment.
It's just one more free.
But we will try our best, especially if we get a dedicated listening base. So
oh yeah.
So this will mark the end of our pilot episode, and we hope to see all of you next time.
See you next time. Bye.